How we getting on, folks? Look at today didn't necessarily go our way. Look at with everything that happened. Um, Obviously, look at Rachel Blackmore having a great day overall and everything else like that. We did manage to get the double up, but I'm not going to be screaming and shouting about that. It was two fairly short priced horses, so you'd want to be fairly hard up to be screaming and shouting about that. But we are down, but we're not down a hell of a lot. We are going to be tackling Tramore again tomorrow, and it's definitely it's very very wishy washy racing now tomorrow in Tramore. I definitely wouldn't be going. I wouldn't be putting your life savings on tomorrow's race. And now, to be perfectly honest, with the way things have gone and everything else like that, it's not solid clear cut racing. It's all luck at the end of the day in these sorts of conditions and everything else like that. Um, there's some big prices in here. I will get to them, but overall, we will hopefully get a few places. We'll be looking for places more so than wins tomorrow. Usually, when I do that, a few of them always run home. So we're going to try that luck again. First race off the 12:35, and this one here is going to be the first big price horse of the day. It's a weak race. The Greek heads the market at 6-4, finished second in his last three occasions. The last time, second to the Cahill Don. I know he was 20 odd lengths ahead of Mr. Tambourine Man that particular day in Kilbeggan, and Mr. Tambourine Man has since come out to win. But the Cahill Don has gone backwards instead of going forwards. And last time out, he was sixth of eight or nine. That for me isn't necessarily screaming. 6-4 is great price. Fan Le Tulip for Willie Mullins, definitely an interesting runner coming from connections, but it was disappointing the last couple of times. I just think he's like 11-4 for him isn't even great. It isn't even a great price, even though considering his connections. Tis a Dream is a horse I will be looking at coming closer up to the, I suppose, coming closer to say the middle to the end of the card. It's just definitely very interesting that the fact that there's form tying in with this lad, with one of my ones later on in the card, but the fact that Tis a Dream is only 4-1, I will be avoiding it, because at the end of the day, it's going to be a flip of a coin here now tomorrow. Seamus Darby definitely very interesting at 8-1. Um, Nothing really else down the line, but Do This Like This is a horse that I have been following and a horse that I will be selecting here, considering he is a lovely, lovely price at 66-1. And this one here, definitely the biggest price horse of the day. We're starting big. We're hopefully going to send them home. But yeah, coming from John McConnell's yard, ridden by Thomas Riley, claiming 7. He's one of the ones coming in here technically off bottom weight. Um, I just think he's very, very interesting and looks like he could potentially throw in a nice run for a bit of a place. When you look at his debut run behind the likes of Kilcrut, Killer Mode hasn't necessarily backed up the form. Ballycairn has won next time out, if I'm not mistaken, if memory serves me right. He won next time out in Leopardstown in a bumper. Knockmylan then decent enough horse, put in some nice runs. In particular, 2/4 after, what was it? No, he was fourth in the bumper and fourth in his chase behind Aramax, Port Stanley, Alpha Mix. That's definitely very, very interesting when you look at the form between all them. There's some Cheltenham form in there. Gallic de Chassis hasn't necessarily shown a hell of a lot, but Alco Rouge was the only other horse ahead of him. And Alco Rouge has been a bit of a revelation for Tom Gibney. When you look at the runs of his performance, the day we're talking about, he finished 6th of 10 behind Kilcrush. Next time out, 3rd of 15 behind Flanking Maneuver and Falcano. Next time out, then he won fairly convincingly out of Coquelino and Lucky Tenor and Wowsham. All of those have since come on to win again. And last time out, he was sixth of seventh, but that was in graded company. That was in grade 3 company behind On Eagle's Wings, Goodbye Someday, Shadow River, French Light for Kerry Bryan over in America, Balderillo, and Delvino pulled up. But if you think back and look at the race that don't or do this like this is in here, it is second to none. It's like chalk and cheese. It's a much, much weaker affair. It wouldn't take a hell of a lot of improvement to come in the top 2 or top 3, potentially even win it. I'm being bold in my statements there, but the Greek has definitely not done it for me. I think the form of do this like this is bumper is definitely tying in with some of the best form on the book and potentially on the whole card itself. I think 66-1 is a bit of an insult and definitely deserves his full merits coming in here. I want to wish Kieran Looney and Andrew Blair White from Horse Racing Buddy the very, very best of luck with that. 105 then. And what have I gone with in here? Just checking what I have, if it'll let me. I have gone with Do You Think So in the 105. Again, another fairly weak race. There's an awful lot of these coming in here that have plenty of duck eggs to their name. The only one that any real sort of form behind it, Master Cornwall at 11-4, is the only one that finished third last time out, but it was 20 odd lengths third that particular day. Wouldn't be looking into that too much. Do You Think So was a winner on the flat and put in some fairly decent performances. The good ground should definitely be to his favour, coming from the John Flavin yard with Hugh Morgan on board claiming £5. Definitely very, very interesting here. Providing it jumps well and gets the hang of jumping, it should definitely take all the beating. It's the only one in here with any real sort of form and should take plenty of stopping. Next race off then. And it's another fairly weak race, the 135. Miss Clogher coming in here for Shark Hanlon. The one I am liking in this one. At an each way price, look at it's a completely open affair. Maybe next year for Paul Stafford and Adam Short. Obviously, look at it 8-1. There's definitely a bit of an each way price there. Wouldn't be going hard at it now, to be quite honest. But the fact that it finished on fairly strongly last time out, when fifth of 17 at 28-1 behind the likes of Outlier, Believe Jack, Red Ball of Fire, Southwood. Southwood didn't really show too much there today, but it's a weaker race now tomorrow. And maybe next year. That was definitely a very nice bit of a run. It stayed on fairly well and looked like it would definitely come on for a longer trip. He gets it here today. Look at potentially well thrown in here and looks to be a fairly winnable race when you look at the favorite coming in here on America 98. Not necessarily what you'd call a solid favorite, but just definitely very, very interesting here. I think 8-1 is a little bit overpriced and should take lots and lots of stopping. Next race then, the 210. And this one here, I am definitely siding with the favorite. I think he's got plenty in hand and should take plenty of stopping. Magic Piper for Tom Gibney and Jack Foley claiming £7. A very, very talented claimer, that Jack Foley. It was a very, very impressive winner in Downpatrick last time out by 25 lengths. Actually, no, sorry, my eyes have got the better of me. It's actually 15 lengths he was a winner by, and 7 lengths ahead of Saline Tuck, then ahead of that. Lily Lightfoot further on behind then, Elam, Lady Lyron, King and Queen, Dispora, Go Battle. look at, the score, you know what I'm talking about. It was a very impressive winner. Looked like he had plenty more improving to do. The fact that he's up 9 pounds, but Jack Foley is claiming 7, technically means that he's only gone up 2 pounds. I definitely think he has got the ability to, how would you say, to overcome that bit of a hike in the weights. And realistically, it's a similar enough track between Downpatrick and Tramore. It definitely favors a good sort of a front running pace. You've seen it there today. Rachel Blackmore set off in front for most of the races, and she definitely lasted home. It's just one of those tracks where you just want a horse to go rocking and rolling out in front of it, and should really take plenty of stopping. 245 is going to be my patron pick of the day. And honestly, I am very, very excited to see this one. It's double figures. It's really, really, it looks to be a really, really talented sort, and should take plenty of stopping tomorrow. Like I am definitely, the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm liking it. And look, it's up to yourselves. I leave a link in the description below if you want to get on it, but it's definitely my best bet of the day without a shadow of a doubt. 320. It's definitely very, very interesting as well. Another fairly weak enough contest. David Christie's Charge Blue Marquee takes them along at the head of affairs, and rightly so. It looks to be the one they all have to beat, but that beats Banagher, one of the only horses that has any sort of course form. I think it's only run on the track. It won, if I'm not mistaken. I could be totally wrong with that, but it did. That was when it beat Naturally Blonde, Hopefully, Deauville Society, Galoppi, Fish a Wish, Gotta Get Away, Handuri, Leglock Luke. Yeah, it was a weak enough affair that day, and it's a weak enough affair today. Although it is possibly the in terms of standard and quality and everything else like that, it looks to be one of the better races of the day without a shadow of a doubt. But like, I just think the fact that beats Banagher, put in a fairly decent run in Clonmel last time out, behind the likes of Dal Dido, One Night More, I hope. He's after breaking my heart plenty of times now at this stage. Chasing Abbey, another very, very talented sort. The Dancing Farrier, ahead of Dynamic Alan B to the Sea, another very, very talented sort as well, around Kilbeggan especially. Stylish Moment, Insane Bolt, Morning Sky, Eldorado, Fix the Bill pulled up, and the rest were non-runners. But look, at if it puts in another performance like it did that particular day, the likes of Chasing Abbey. Look, at Chasing Abbey's a very, very talented sort, very, very talented. On his day, he is definitely like against this lot here. It looks like he would definitely have them all strung out, especially. But fifth behind him that day wasn't a bad run. I think if he improves anymore, he should take all the stopping. 11-2 looks to be a lovely price, and therefore is my next best of the day. Finally, then, the last race of the day, and for me, I will be going with the nap of the day. It's a tricky one here because I never really nap up a bumper, especially a bumper where Willie Mullins has the favourite, but a fairly poor favourite, if I do say so myself. It definitely left an awful lot to be desired of the last day when it was third, and it was a very, very well beaten third and a fairly weak affair. But presenting New York, I thought I said presenting your work, was presenting New York, for Gavin Cromwell and Harley Dunn. I think this one here is definitely very, very interesting. When you look at the fourth behind Me Too Please, ahead of the Mean Queen, who has since gone on to win, I think 1 or 2 on the bounce now out in America for Kerry Bryan. Rocked Up. What has Rocked Up done since? 9th out of 14. Not necessarily the best of form, but ahead of Cool Rain, Sula Warrior, Faraway Bay, Hidden Harmony, our Boston Rose, Patient Lady, Shantou Pierre, Miss Amy. The rest are no names really. They're poor horses, but Look at if producing that form in that race, just going back, he was only 9.75 lengths behind Me Too Please that particular day. And Me Too Please won in Aintree by 5 lengths, beating some very, very talented sorts. No, he won in Roscommon that day. That was actually on the turf. Me Too Please bet L.A. Bell, Miss Lamb, Eileen Dover, Where's Maud Gone, Tweed Skirt, Glimpse of Gala, Finest View, Step to the Top. Like, realistically, all those horses are very, very talented sorts. If producing that same form, it's bang there. And it's got every single opportunity to go and win this particular race. I think the form of Me Too Please obviously being good enough to win on the flat as well in Roscommon, that seals the deal for me. And realistically, I think that's what's going to have the win in here tomorrow. I don't rate the Willie Mullins favourite in here whatsoever. I think maybe throw a jump in front of it, but I don't know. It was a late starter and it didn't produce anything of any real standard either. I don't know. I just think there's something about this Present New York is definitely very, very interesting. But look, I'm going to leave it there. The very, very best of luck to you all tomorrow. If you're going to be having a bet, I definitely wouldn't suggest going all in, let's just say. But if you do, I hope we have a better day than we did there today. Please make sure to keep liking, sharing, and subscribing for those who want to sign up to Patreon. Now is your time. €10 a month. You'll be entered into the week or the monthly draw. This month is €40 worth in prizes between Hacked Up and Scratch and Reveal. As well as that, you get daily tips from myself and Ryan Sharkey. I had a non-runner there today, just my luck as well. But as well as that, we had a very, very nice winner the day before, 5-2 into 5-6. It was an absolutely lovely, lovely gamble. Yeah, those sorts of days, it definitely works out all the better for us. But like, realistically, for the sake of €10 a month, you're basically getting you're definitely getting your money's worth anyway, and you're definitely getting what you put in anyway, as well as everything else. I leave a link in the description below. Like I said, €10 a month. Now is the best time to sign up, considering it's the start of the month. And Patreon does work off an automatic payment basis. That was try saying that when you're after having a few jars. But look, I'm going to leave it there. The very, very best of luck tomorrow. If you are going to be having a bet, I would suggest not going too hard. It's very wishy-washy racing now these couple of days, and look, at hopefully we'll just be able to keep our heads above water while we wait for better racing to come. All right, folks, thanks very much.